Hey everybody, I'm Reload and today bringing you the review of Downward Spiral Horus Station. It's a brand new space adventure game from Third Eye Studios for Oculus, Vive and PSVR. This game does not require a VR headset as you can also play it in non-VR mode, but gameplay experience is vastly improved in VR as it takes advantage of zero-gravity player locomotion through motion controllers. As usual, VR just makes the environment way more immersive. So for this review, while playing Downward Spiral, I was using Oculus Rift with touch controllers, playing the game through Steam VR. So, Downward Spiral Horus Station. This game can be explored solo or through two-player online co-op. Additionally, you can pick between Explore mode, in which all enemies are disabled, and Engage mode, where you have to fight and evade the station's automated defense bots. Personally, I recommend the Engage mode as it provides an additional challenge to discovering the story of what happened on Horus Station. Having said that, be prepared for a few tense moments fighting against the bots and know that your progress will be slowed down as you try to figure out how to stay alive and continue exploring the station. In my playthrough, there were a few key moments where I just kept on dying to the bots trying to figure out what to do next. But overall, having that element of danger present in the game enhanced the gameplay experience. But of course, if you'd like more of a chill gameplay trying to uncover the story, then Explore mode does an excellent job. The game starts as you find yourself floating inside Horus Station. A quick tutorial shows you the basics of zero-G locomotion. It is similar to games like Mission ISS and Lone Echo as you have to push off from the walls and railings to propel yourself. The locomotion is not hyper-realistic as you might find in Uncharted Studios' Detached game, but it avoids VR nausea that commonly associated with these types of games. For example, you will never find yourself in an uncontrolled spin in this game, and all the motion is very smooth. Granted, I may not be the best person to comment on this as I seldom experience VR nausea, but in my opinion, if you're sensitive to this kind of stuff, chances are you're gonna be okay playing this game. At first, you'll be pushing yourself off the walls and the railings a lot to move around the station, but as you progress through the game, you'll pick up a grappling magnet and a hand thruster to actually propel yourself to the station without having to swing your arms for hours on end. I really enjoyed using the grappling magnet to travel around the station. It's actually a very cool locomotion mechanic. The hand thruster was a little bit tougher to adjust to, but it's faster and it serves a very important role in few key points of the gameplay. As you'll keep playing, you'll also be able to pick up a good array of weapons to protect yourself against the bots. They really are just power tools that are used as weapons and represent the typical regular FPS types of guns: a pistol, SMG, shotgun and a sniper rifle. Both weapons and propulsion tools can be equipped to any hand that you'd like, so if you prefer a weapon in your left hand, that's not gonna be a problem. I think the coolest part about this game is the mystery surrounding Horus Station that you're trying to unravel and the storytelling itself. The developers drew inspiration from classic sci-fi movies like 2001's Space Odyssey in designing the retro-futuristic station and letting the players discover the story through exploration and observation rather than through voiceover cinematics or audio logs. The sound design and the accompanying music are top-notch, adding an essential layer to an eerie atmosphere within the station. My only wish is that there was more of background music, but the silence is used quite effectively in reinforcing the baseline tension that comes with exploring an abandoned space station littered with floating debris and long-dead astronauts. Although the sentry bots that actually pose any danger are usually very easy to spot right away, every random and unexpected noise in the narrow hallways and rooms kept me on edge. The graphics of Downward Spiral Horus Station are of medium quality, but this is not a gritty space station with lots of ornate detail. As it was inspired by the 70s retro-futuristic style, clean and plain design of the station makes sense in this sort of environment. The level of graphics quality is quite acceptable in this case. Visually, the developers did a good job in designing an extensive maze of hallways and interconnecting rooms. Some of my most memorable moments come from the beautiful visual of floating above the planet's surface and bumping into spooky dead astronauts, at times bordering on jump scares. I knew those astronauts posed me no danger, but they were always the first thing I'd point my gun at after opening the hatch. The game progression is, as you may expect, very linear, which is not a bad thing. You are following a story after all, but in some instances gameplay was rather repetitive. Proceed to the main station of a particular area, activate the manual override to power up something, make your way back fighting or evading enemies, and then move on to the next area. But this sort of repetitive gameplay did not feel like mindless grinding. The exploration factor made the progression interesting, and I was very curious what challenges the next area will bring. Overall, Downward Spiral Horus Station is a great title to pick up and play through. Especially if you're easily susceptible to VR nausea, this game may be a good one for you to try, as the innovative locomotion design should help mitigate the symptoms. Environmental storytelling that's unique to VR games in my experience should be the reason enough to play Downward Spiral Horus Station. Add an awesome ambient electronic soundtrack along with exploring the mystery of an abandoned space station, and you get yourself quite an interesting VR game. I should mention once again that Downward Spiral Horus Station is playable in non-VR mode. So if you don't have a VR headset but are curious about the story, you can still play it with your gamepad or keyboard and mouse. There are also multiplayer PvP and PvE modes available with Deathmatch, Horde and Survival challenges. I have not personally played through those yet, but I'm looking forward to trying them out. Check out the description of this video for a link to Downward Spiral Horus Station Steam page. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this review useful. I did not mention any storyline spoilers in this review, but if you're interested in raw gameplay, please check out my playthrough series of videos. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more VR content. I'm Reload and I'll see you in my next video.